62nd Army of the Stalingrad front, which had been squeezed right up to the Volga, fought under unbelievably hard conditions. The defense belt, 25 kilometers wide, and from 2.5 kilometers down to only 200 meters in depth, was under fire by all types of enemy arms. The dugouts of Army headquarters on the steep bank of the Volga were like birds' nests in the sand. The military council of the Army, headed by General Chuikov, who was in command, guided the defense operations from here. The men of the 13th Guards Rifles Division, commanded by General Radintsev, were outstanding among the city's defenders for their courage and valor. Stubborn fighting with heavy losses now moved into the streets of the city. Fighting continued for every block, every building and floor, and a wall was often the front line. Sniper Anatoly Chekhov shot down many a German soldier and officer. Forced back to a narrow strip along the bank of the Volga by the enemy's superior forces, the men under Gurtsev, Batyuk, Gorokhov, and Guryev fought on with supreme heroism. History has not left us the names and ranks of those who laid down their lives in the fighting on the Volga. But the Soviet people cherished beyond measure even these nameless film records. The wounded were taken across the Volga at a terrible risk. This was known as Ludnikov's Island. Completely surrounded, it was a pock of resistance which for 70 days fought a defense to the death. The 138th Division under Colonel Ludnikov prevented the enemy from reaching the barricade works. This small piece of land on the riverbank has become a legend. It extended 400 meters along the front and was 300 meters in depth. From here, reports were sent to Army headquarters. These brief words meant so much. Exceptionally hard, fierce fighting. 14 enemy attacks repulsed by artillery fire, counterattacks, and hand-to-hand combat. The enemy has reached the Volga on both sides. They're firing straight through the division's formation. It was impossible to stand up to this, and yet they did it. Not a step back. The party's order came through, and that meant an order from the whole country and the Soviet people. Machine gunner Staratuvtsev died the death of a hero. It was an unwritten law of frontline brotherhood that the living gave an oath to those who had been killed. We'll stand to the death. An unforgettable page in the history of the Battle of Stalingrad was Sergeant Pavlov's house, where a small garrison kept up a defense for 2 months. Shows Shoulder to shoulder they fought, Lieutenant Afanasyev, Guard Sergeant Yakov Pavlov, Privates Ilya Voronov, Faizaran Ramazanov, Ahmed Turdiev, Nikolai Masiashvili, and Vasily Glushchenko. There were others, too. Many of them known, still more unknown. These are just a few names and facts from the frontline history of those grim days. Vasily Zaitsev, hero of the Soviet Union, wiped out 300 fascists. A super sniper was brought especially from Berlin to get rid of him, but Zaitsev got him, too. "198 combat missions were flown by Captain Yefremov, twice hero of the Soviet Union. Red Army men Alexei Vashchenko and Nikolai Serdyukov sealed up enemy firing positions with their own bodies. After pouring liquid fuel over himself, Private Mikhail Panikakha hurled himself at a German tank, a living torch, and set it ablaze. Ilya Kaplunov of the Soviet Navy destroyed 9 tanks in a single battle, the last after his own leg had been torn off. Matvey Putilov of the Signal Corps was mortally wounded, but clenched the ends of the wire between his teeth so that communications continued to function. Captain Ruben Ibarudi, hero of the Soviet Union, son of the splendid daughter of the Spanish people, Dolores Ibarudi, fell the death of the brave along the Volga. Eternal glory to the heroines of the Battle of the Volga, Olga Kovalyova, member of the Communist Party. She smelted steel during the war and then volunteered for the civilian guard. She was killed in the fighting for the Stalingrad tractor works. Another woman to meet a heroic death here was Gulia Karalova, stretcher bearer, whose name was entered forever as an honorary member of her unit. Natasha Kachuevskaya, also stretcher bearer. Defending badly wounded men, she waged a single-handed battle and with her last grenade blew herself up together with the attacking Germans. Soviet soldiers adapted themselves to fighting amid the ruined buildings. Spurred on by hatred for the enemy, they gave the Germans no rest. Badly entangled in street fighting, the Germans attempted to crush the Russian defenses from the air. All this time, the city power station was kept working day and night. People took refuge in special bomb shelters, and even 130 direct hits could not put the station out of commission. In the southern part of the city, near the shipbuilding yards, the work of repairing damaged tanks went on day and night. From here, they were driven straight to the front line.